Should you rather go to the sauna or taking an ice bath? Which is better for you and which provides more benefits to your overall health and performance? This is exactly what we're going to talk about today. So, welcome to this video. My name is Marvin, and for those of you who don't know me, I'm a health and performance coach for high-performing individuals such as successful entrepreneurs. And recently, I posted a lot of stories on my Instagram channel where I was taking an ice bath. And so people ask me questions like, which is better for me? Should I take rather an ice bath? Should I go to the sauna? Or maybe I can combine it to get the most out of both of them. So we won't just talk about what is right or what is best for you, but especially when it's right for you. So when you should use the sauna or when you should use the ice bath, because this is really crucial. Both can provide many health and performance benefits, but the real question is when you should use it. So one of the reasons for this is our circadian rhythm. So our circadian rhythm as humans is also determined by our body temperature. For example, in the evening, the body temperature is higher than, for example, in the morning. In the morning, in the first hour, it's increasing throughout the day. And during the night, it's really important for the body to cool down a little bit. And this is why we should use cold just in the first parts of the day and heat more in the later parts of the day. That sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but let's take the example, you go into an ice bath or you're taking a cold shower. You're giving the body the signal that he should heat up. So that means if you finish your cold plunge or cold shower, the body temperature is actually increasing. So it helps the body to increase its body temperature. Where if you take a sauna or a hot shower in the evening, it helps the body cool down. Also because the vessels get wider and it's easier throughout the night to decrease the body temperature. So if you want to take a cold shower or an ice bath, I would definitely recommend it to do it in the morning. And another reason for this is that it creates a cortisol output. So it increases certain stress hormones. And this is nothing that you want at the end of the day. So you want it first part in the morning, and it's okay to increase your stress hormones, but not at the end of the day, because this can really mess up your sleep. So to summarize, you can use cold in the first part of the day in order to optimize your circadian rhythm and optimize also your sleep. This is what also a lot of people report, and I also report that when I take a cold bath or a cold shower in the morning, it really improves my sleep. Another benefit is if you want to increase your work output. So you want to have a better focus, you need more energy, more clarity. Then you can also use this because we know that cold plunges, ice bath, cold showers can increase dopamine levels. And the increase is really dramatic. So it is well known from studies that taking a cold plunge for 1 to 2 minutes can increase dopamine levels more than, for example, cocaine and sex. And to get this benefit, the water doesn't have to be freezing cold, like almost frozen, what we sometimes see on Instagram or TikTok. No, it doesn't have to be. It's really actually enough when you put your shower on the coldest level. The water just should be cold enough that you feel really uncomfortable, that you want to get out and maybe get this so-called shock that you can imagine. Another benefit of taking ice bath or cold showers on a regular basis is its increased metabolism. So we also know from studies that it increased the metabolism rate sometimes over 300%. Why? Because the body has to increase his body temperature, have to resist this cold. And this is a really important aspect of our survival. That's why the body is really serious about it. And this is also why it burns a lot of energy. So it's not a wonder weapon to lose your weight, but of course it can benefit and it can also support a weight loss. And the last benefit that I want to mention today about cold exposure is the influence on inflammation. Because, to keep it simple, cold reduces inflammation. And especially because of our Western nutrition, which is including a lot of gluten, wheat, a lot of omega-6, we have lots of problem with too much inflammation. And therefore, cold exposure can help to manage this inflammation in the body. As I mentioned, if you want to expose yourself to heat and get the benefits out of heat exposure, I would recommend you to do it more in the evening, in the later part of the day, in form of course, a sauna if possible, but also if you don't have access to a sauna, you can also use a hot shower or a hot bath. One important thing that you want to keep in mind is that sauna is putting so-called hormetic stress on the body. Maybe you are familiar with endorphin. Endorphin is released when, you can say, we feel really pleasant. And what most people don't know is the counterpart. It's called dynorphin. When you go to a sauna, you will have this dynorphin release, and it puts on the kappa opioid receptors, which is really like the counterpart. This is when you feel a little bit uncomfortable. So you can imagine you go to the sauna, you stay in there, and then you get this really uncomfortable feeling that you want to get out of the sauna. This is due to the dynorphin release and the receptors of the kappa opioid receptors. And this is one of the reasons why when you get out of the sauna, after that you feel really nice, you feel really pleasant. That's because also again from the counterpart, the endorphin release. And not just after the sauna session, but also when you do it on a regular basis. So when you go to the sauna really frequently, then the body or the mu opioid receptors get more sensitive to endorphins. So that means also independent on going to the sauna, also from other things, from various things that you get pleasure of, you will have a greater endorphin release than compared to people who don't go to the sauna on a regular basis, because these mu opioid receptors are more sensitive to endorphin. I hope that was not too complicated, but to keep it really simple, when you go frequently to the sauna, you will feel better after sauna and you will feel more pleasant when doing other things. Let's get to the question. Now, what I should prefer after my workout sessions, my strength training or my endurance training. Should I go under the hot or cold shower? Or should I go maybe to the sauna or the ice bath? To put it really simple, I wouldn't recommend you to go either to the sauna or to an ice bath, just due to the fact that it's stress. Both is stress for the body. The cold is stress and the extreme heat is stress. Okay, to be specific, you can go to the sauna, but you should choose a temperature that you feel really comfortable. So maybe you go on the lowest station in the sauna and it's not an extreme sauna, so you feel really comfortable in it. And you can say as a rule of thumb, when you can fall asleep in the sauna, which you should really careful of, but yeah, if you maybe could sleep in the sauna, you can really relax in the sauna, then it's also beneficial after training. Then it can kickstart your recovery. But most of the time, the sauna after maybe 10-15 minutes can feel really uncomfortable. It's a lot of heat stress on the body. And this is the last thing that we want after training. For example, I had a client, and I guess we talked about that about 3 weeks ago, and he was doing a sauna after his training sessions, and we were seeing that his HRV, his heart rate variability, which is a huge predictor of his recovery, was declining. So that's a sign of a poor recovery. And when he stopped doing the sauna after his workout session, the heart rate variability went up again. So this is a classical example why going to the sauna after workout can put more stress on the body. And the same thing applies for cold exposure. So that means you don't want to go into an ice bath or a cold shower immediately after training. First of all, it puts more stress on the body, therefore increases cortisol and just delays your recovery. And also we know from studies and experience, especially when you want to increase your muscle growth, when you want to build muscle, it's really not beneficial. We can say that it's killing your gains when you step into an ice bath immediately after your training session. So to summarize that for you guys, in the morning you can have a cold shower from about minimum 2 minutes, or you can step into an ice bath to increase dopamine levels, to increase cortisol and your energy levels. Just take care when you have overall really much stress going on, not just on your body, but also maybe psychological stress, a lot of work-related stress. Then you should maybe be really careful with putting too much stress on your body. But beside of that, you can use it more in the first part of the day, and in the later part, in the evening, you will have a hot shower, a sauna, or a hot bath. After workout, none of either. So maybe a warm shower would be beneficial, where you can relax, where you can kickstart your recovery. Maybe pair with some protein shake or some carbohydrates to really kickstart your recovery. But this is how I would approach and what I recommend to my clients when it comes to cold and heat exposure. So that's it for today. I hope you liked that video. If you get more specific questions about cold exposure, heat exposure, then just comment down below. And if you are interested in optimizing your health and performance, if you are an entrepreneur who wants to optimize his work output, his focus and his overall performance, then subscribe to that channel. That's it for today. See you soon.